Let's make a comic book, but let's make it a little bit different. Instead of one person or a team making the whole book, we're going to have every panel made by a different cartoonist. We're going to do 1 page per episode, so the number of guests is the number of panels on the page. So now you're probably wondering, what's this comic book going to be about? Well, let me tell you. It's going to be about a robot. This robot, whose name is Blank. What happens next? Nobody knows, but it's going to be fun finding out.
Oh, damn it. That was my bad.
Hello.
What happened?
I left the screen up. That shouldn't be up.
Oh.
Yeah, technical difficulties, yes.
It's the beauty of live YouTube broadcasting,
Yes.
as they say. You never know what can happen.
There's always something going on. So this is Let's Make a Comic Book, a show where we make a comic book with a different artist on every single panel. And today we have an international cast. So this is a show for Comics Australia, so all the artists are Australian. And today we've got some Australian artists who are all over the world, and we've just lost one.
Oh, Gene just dropped out.
So, well, we'll wait for.
I'll let him in when he comes back.
All right. We've got we'll have an introduction to the artists, and they could tell us what country and city and stuff they're in and the time it is currently. So we'll start with Con.
Hi.
How you going? And tell us where you are and the time and all that stuff.
So I'm in York. So hi everyone. First of all, I'm in York, the UK. So that's in kind of if you have no idea about Great Britain, it's kind of like it's the north of England, but it's in the middle of Great Britain. Yeah, it's in Yorkshire. It's kind of a really old city with city walls and all that stuff, medieval walls and all that. Yeah, and it's 9 a.m. here.
Nice.
Excellent. So let's we'll pop over to Matt and say hello and welcome to the show, and
Hello.
give us your stats.
I'm Matt Schofield, and I live in Los Angeles, where it is 1 a.m., 1:04 a.m.
Ooh.
Excellent.
That's commitment, mate.
Yeah. Gotta love Matt.
I really wanted to do this, so I had like an early evening, like had dinner, went to bed at 7:30 like a little kid, and then set my alarm for 12:30. So yeah.
Legend.
I'm raring to go.
Excellent. So let's we'll stop in with Gene for a second. Gene, tell us where you are and what time it is.
I'm in the eastern side of Singapore, which is really important because Singapore's that big. And it's currently 5:05 p.m.
That's all right. So you got the...
So, Matt, I salute your diligence.
Thank you.
Just a big thanks to Matt for showing up.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Awesome.
All right.
We've got a comment already. If you
Deb?
we've got a hi everyone from Gary Challoner.
Hey,
And
Gary.
a special hi to Danger Gene. I'm guessing you guys are friends. So yes.
Hello, Uncle Gaz.
Gary,
I did
you're
work
a
experience with
huge
Gary back in the
inspiration
80s.
to me.
Oh wow.
I just had to say that. When I was 14, I think I bought Cyclone #5, and yeah, those Glenn Lumsden and Dave DeVries and Gary Challoner were all hugely inspirational to me, because it was sort of eye-opening and mind-blowing that, oh wow, there's Australian people doing comics, and they're really good comics. So yeah, I bought all the Cyclone issues, and I bought all the Southern Squadron issues, and etc. And yeah,
Sweet.
so
I'm jealous.
thank you, Gary, for the inspiration.
There you
My
go.
first issue of Cyclone was number 7. I bought it on the way up to the farm with my grandparents.
Oh wow.
And same thing. Like, wow, Australian comics and they swear.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many times I read that issue, and I saw the address was in Sydney, and I grew up in Sydney, so I found a phone number and I called Cyclone, and I got to do work experience with Gary Challoner back in 1988.
Wow.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Mm. It was very funny because Gary was also like, work experience? What's that? And I learned a lot directly from Gary that I still use today.
Yeah,
Wow.
cool.
That is a
Sweet.
cool story.
Great.
And Gary says, "Oh, thanks." I'm guessing that's aimed at Matt and Jean, I guess.
Well, no, Gary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Alrighty, so let's have a look at last week's page, or last Thursday's page.
Yeah, Thursday. It wasn't even last week.
It's only a couple of days ago.
Yeah,
They haven't
2.
put the names on it yet, but that top panel is Tim McEwen with the "Oh Hello, Secret Underground Civilization." You can see Blank's gone through the ground and there's a city in the background. Then we got Mike Nason with the underground people, the little fish monsters, and they're looking up at Blank as he flies away. And then Zach George in the bottom panel has Death to the Surface Dwellers, with the underground guys aren't very happy that Blank's invaded their space. So that's that bit. And so now we're going to do the pick the layout bit. We can go a bit out of order. So I'm going to show you there's the 3 layouts, and we'll get Jean to pick from the hand of choosing. So Jean,
Do you want me to boost you up?
I like
Yeah.
number 3.
oh, don't worry about it. We're already on number 3. Is panel 1.
No one.
Well,
Which one's
layout
that?
1. So
Aha.
because Con is traditional, you get the bottom panel, which is just a square,
Nice.
and the other guys.
Oh, thrown in.
Great.
as the
We get the difficult
Without a choice.
triangular panels.
You get the cool triangle panels.
You
which
get
is
the
always
cursed toasties.
Yep.
Okay,
So
so
we'll get-
I only have to do 2 of these now. Let me see
Uh,
which ones are 1 and 2.
I've got 2 picked out if you want to.
No, I've got them ready.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so we have Sidrus. Oh, we just boosted myself up because you won't be able to see me in that tiny little square. We have Sidrus.
Oh
the
wow.
pirate Sidrus, because he lost his hand, so I gave him a hook.
Oh, that's
He
cool.
lost his hand in a door, a car door. So poor little fella. So that's yep. That's him. And
Okay.
I think yeah, and we've got Wolverine.
Ooh.
These were
Okay,
I just grabbed the big ones that I had. So that was the theme. The larger statues that I have.
We'll get a Con to choose.
Oh man. Let's go. Yes, let's go for Wolverine.
Okay. Yeah, he's underneath.
So it's number 2.
Mm.
So it did that silly. So we'll make Matt number 1 and Jean number 2.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yep. There's
All right.
number 1 fell off his cape, but there it is.
Mm.
All right. I better get cracking then.
Oh no.
Yeah. So Matt,
Boost
you can
myself.
you could start drawing,
Yeah.
and we'll have a chat with Con and Jean while you're doing that.
Matt,
We
you
got
got that
some-
reference from me?
Yeah,
So you can see the last page better?
I did. I didn't pull up the reference, but I remember what it is.
Okay, cool.
It's the alien guy looking up.
Mhm.
Oh, that
Death
is
to the surface dwellers.
2.
Aren't they sea monkeys?
They look a bit
Kind
like
of looked
sea
like that, didn't they?
Yeah. You,
I like
got comments, Sis?
Yeah, I have. Gary's at it again with Gene. I need my stuff back. So, Kim
It's in a
Sutton.
box.
Oh, it's in a box. Kim Sutton has come with work experience in 1998. I was 1. That would have been interesting work experience for you, Kim. And then Stephen Beebe, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Awesome. Hey, Mr. Gene, Danger Gene. So you got a bit of fans by the sounds of it there, Gene.
Friends, not fans. I need more fans.
Kim, please don't make the guests feel any older than they already feel by saying you were 1 in 1998.
Oh, yeah, wow. I was finishing up uni in 1998.
I was 27. I think. I can't do maths and draw at the same time.
I was already here in Singapore in 1998.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Been there a while.
Yeah. It's 30 years next year.
Wow.
Wow, 30 years in Singapore. Wow.
Yep.
You're pretty close though. That's a good news.
Yeah.
Do you mind me asking what? Because my sister lives in Singapore at the moment. Do you mind me asking what brought you to Singapore?
Ask all the questions. I got
What
to
brought
do
you
a
to
refit
Singapore?
on an attraction that was called the Musical Fountain.
Oh.
There was a musical fountain attraction on Sentosa, which is a little island off the southern edge of Singapore. The company I worked for, we did laser shows.
Oh,
and
wow.
I was the laser show designer. And the
cool.
second or third day I was here, I went to the restaurant nearby our work site, and I met a young lady there. And now we have 2 kids in a house, and
Nice.
Familiar story to me, because I had the same story about living in LA when I first moved here. I started a job in the animation industry, and I thought, I'd worked in Sydney for a year before that, and was lucky enough to get a job over here. And so I thought I'll give it like 2 years and then come back, and then at least I've got like 2 years experience in the US industry, which would look good on my resume. And then in those 2 years, I met my wife, well, the woman who eventually agreed to become my wife. Lucky for me. So yeah, now we also have 2 kids and house in the suburbs, etc.
do your kids draw?
Yeah, they're both quite good artists. They're both really interested in filmmaking at the moment. My son is in college studying film, and that's my oldest son, and my youngest son is in his last year of high school, also interested in going to college to study film. So,
cool.
yeah, my wife's an animator like me, so.
My wife's a normal person, so unfortunately my kids don't draw.
Yeah.
They refuse to draw. But my son,
really? Wow,
actually,
interesting.
Both of my kids are pretty good talents. My daughter does a lot of voice work for corporate animations that we do for work.
Oh, wow. How
and
cool.
my son does hosting. Yeah, she's been doing voice work since she was about 13.
Wow.
That's awesome.
So it's, Riddle, I need a voice for this. Okay.
That's really cool.
Thank
But
you.
it sounds like
sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Kim threw another comment at you. I think it was about the Friends, only Friends. She's gone, ouch, I'm a fan.
Kim is a fan. Actually, I've got a package of comics that I'm supposed to send to Kim 3 weeks ago.
Whoa.
But it'll be this week.
Be worth the wait.
We had a Comic-Con here last weekend, the Asian Comics Expo.
Oh, cool.
And there were about 200 booths, and 3 of them had comic books.
What were the other
Sounds about right.
booths?
A lot of fan art, a lot
yeah.
of keychains and bags and that sort of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the same. Like the comic conventions over here, especially San Diego Comic Con. I've been, living in LA. It's a 3-hour drive away from San Diego, so I've been lucky enough to go every year since I've been living here, and so it's been interesting to watch the evolution of the conventions since the 90s, which is when I first arrived over here, and it's become, it's more pop culture stuff and less comics. There's still definitely a presence of comic books at Comic-Con, but far more pop culture and media presence that sort of overshadows the comic stuff a little bit.
I have a teammate / fearless assistant who's 25 years younger than me. And I was showing her my comics, and she said, "Wow, it's all OCs." To which I said, "What's an OC?" Like,
Yeah.
oh, original characters.
Yeah.
And
I didn't know that
to
either.
me, that epitomizes what's happening in comic books. That so much of the industry now is fan art or working with licensed characters.
Yeah.
You're seen as unusual if you're doing an OC.
Right.
Because I find it hard to do other people's characters. Like, I want to do my stuff.
I feel
Whoever
the
today,
exact
I
same
will be.
way.
Yeah, I mean, in the UK, there's the regular mainstream cons like MCM. It's a series of cons that takes place like in London, Edinburgh, and stuff like that. But there's a con I don't know if anyone's heard of it. It's called Thought Bubble. That takes place here in quite close to me in Harrogate. It used to be in Leeds, but it's in Harrogate now, and it's massive, and it's purely indie creators. So yeah, and it's just jam packed. It's real hard to get it. It's really hard to get a table, and then you got like Americans trying to get tables and stuff there as well. So it's starting to become sort of like the Angulem of the UK. But it's huge. Yeah, I was there in November. It's just massive, and yeah, you get loads of like younger audiences, younger creators with OCs, and their OC kind of indie comics. Yeah, and because there's a lot of, I should say, because that's what I predominantly do here is I teach art and illustration, and I used to teach comics for quite a while on a university level. So there's a lot of universities set up here in the north that teach comics exclusively for a bachelor degree. So all the students, aspire to go to the indie cons to show their work.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
That's really cool.
That's very
Yeah.
cool.
So, Con, is that what brought you to London, to England? Was a teaching job, or
Yeah, well, I'll
something
initially
you moved into, or
yeah, I mean, so yeah, I moved to Athens originally from Melbourne, and then Athens, Greece,
wow.
that is.
Wow.
Yeah, and the scene there was kind of, there wasn't really a scene, so I was kind of part of that that group of people that grew the scene kind of in the late 90s, early noughties. I was doing a long running kind of personal anthology there. So I was self-publishing in Australia. That's how I met Ed.
Okay.
In the mid 90s in Melbourne. So I was doing some comics in Melbourne, kind of really generic superhero stuff, which looks fun now. But in any case, yeah, I was starting to get into a more indie kind of scene, reading, kind of alternative stuff from America. And then I started doing it in personal anthology, like kind of an 8-ball type thing for in Greece. And yeah, that got the ball rolling. And so I started working as a comics creator in Greece.
That's cool. Wow.
Yeah, throughout the noughties. And then the big kind of economic crash happened, which affected Greece, I suppose, more than others. And yeah, I kind of bailed out at some point. And what happened was, because I was working as a comics creator, I didn't feel I required, any kind of academic kind of background in doing that. I was self-taught and stuff.
Right.
So yeah, at that point I realized that, oh geez, I might need to kind of get a proper job now that every publisher's folded in Greece. So I thought of getting into teaching, which I was doing anyway on an irregular basis. So I went to Brighton initially, down in southeast England, and I started there as a mature student, and that got the ball rolling. And eventually, I did a master's degree, all that stuff. Yeah, I started teaching at TSO University on the comics course. So they've got a comics and graphic novels course at TSO University, which is in Middlesbrough, way up north. And I moved to York, so I commute there. And now, it's been about a year now, I've become the course leader of the BA illustration course there.
Oh, wow.
So I lead the students there on the kind of on anything to do with illustration. So we've got animation, we do comics there as well. But there's also still a comics course going on at the same time at the uni. Yeah, that's it.
That's cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and I still self-publish. Yeah, I've never stopped doing that. That's part of my research, really, because if you want to get into academia, you have to produce kind of research outputs.
Ah, I see.
Yeah. Ah, there we go. Yeah, so the research stuff's it's all graphic biographies now for the past 12 years. So I research kind of people I'm interested in, but really in depth. So it's not like reading someone else's prose biography and then just trying to interpret it. So I go into original kind of research on their lives, and really their early lives, formative years. And now I'm doing David Bowie. I've been doing that for 7-8 years now. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome.
We've got 2 questions. The first one's for you, Con.
Yeah.
What's for breakfast?
Yeah, it's always butter and honey.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. How'd they spot that?
And then there's a question from Kim again. Wants to know, what's everyone's ultimate all-time favorite comic, not for story, but for art?
Oh,
damn,
That's an
that's
interesting
tough.
question.
it's a hard one, man.
Yeah, that is a tough one, I reckon.
I've been reading
Vagabond.
comics for 40 years, so let me think
Vagabond.
back.
There's no doubt for me. Every page of Vagabond is just a joy.
Oh,
It's
the
the-
manga.
Yeah, it's the guy that did Slam Dunk, and he
Mm,
went from Slam Dunk to a biographical adventure story about Miyamoto Musashi. And
Oh, cool.
they did 12 volumes and stopped because that's all you need, right? But apparently
Right.
it's just restarted,
Oh, really?
and
Wow.
didn't know
every
that.
single page is just a
Jeez.
joy to behold.
Yeah, that's gorgeous. Yeah, that works gorgeous. All those trees, man. Oh,
Yeah.
what a nightmare.
Con, do you want to answer next to give me time to think of
That's
my
a hard
answer?
one. I'm kind of torn between Jack Kirby and Barry Windsor Smith, but I can't pinpoint like a specific issue. It probably might be Storyteller. That did a huge thing for me. His 90s, Barry Windsor Smith's 90s limited series that he never entered for Dark Horse. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, because I went through a huge kind of a really massive Kirby phase where I was emulating his style quite a bit, and
Oh, cool.
I did this real crossover between the style I had at the time with Kirby style, and I did this series in Greece that raised quite a few eyebrows. It was kind of like kind of a parody of superhero comics in the 60s meets kind of right-wing politics. It was just bonkers, and that raised quite a few eyebrows in Greece at the time. So yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn between the two, and there is a connection between the two because Barry Smith went through a Kirby phase too before Conan.
Right. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
That's
you know, it might be that even though I don't read superhero stuff anymore, it might be that Iron Man issue by Barry Windsor Smith did. Does anyone know that one single issue?
I do not.
He did like a one single issue of that. That thing is just gorgeous. It's like abstract art. It's crazy. There's just
when you say that,
yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking of that Mobius poster of Iron Man from the late 80s.
Yeah, it's quite. Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's quite similar in style because he's wearing that armor. Yeah. Now that you talk about it, it's quite similar. No, was he? No, he wasn't. No, but yeah, Mobius huge thing too. It's real hard to decide. But yeah, I think that Iron Man issue, that's crazy. I recommend anyone to pick that up. It's just you could pin every kind of panel up as a poster.
It's awesome.
That's cool.
Oh, hang on. 4th Monkey, is that the Iron Man issue where he's strung up on the cover?
Yeah, that's the one. Oh, can we get it on the screen?
I know the one you mean, yeah.
If Ed can search for it.
Ed,
He's faster at Google than me.
Yeah, my I don't know. I guess so. It's like, who's your all-time favorite comic in terms of artwork? I would definitely say, I love Jack Kirby's stuff. He's one of my idols, and but John Byrne's Superman run from the 80s, I just loved that artwork as a kid. That was one of the first titles I started collecting, and even to this day, when I'm going through like how they have the bins of like cheap dollar comics or however much they are. I don't know what the price converts to in Australia, but it's the ones that aren't worth anything. If I find a stray issue of that run, even if I have it already, I'll just get it again.
Yeah.
Because I don't know where those issues are in my collection. I don't really organize my comics in terms of like, oh, here's all my Superman, here's all my this, and here's all my that. They're all just like chronologically as I bought them, put into boxes after I read them. So
I used to do that once every 2 or 3 years when my kids were small enough I could say, okay, kids, let's sort Dad's comics.
That's a
And
great
now the
idea.
response is, Dad, can you stop buying comics?
Oh yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. Yep.
Hey, Matt, how you going with your panel?
I'm going well. I've got it roughed out. If you want to show it,
Yeah,
I'm starting to do the tight pencil pass.
Have you got your screen share up?
I thought I did.
Looks like it's
did, but it's
turned off.
gone down
Do I
for
need
some
to
reason.
do it again? Okay,
Yeah.
hang on a sec. Share screen.
So many pictures.
Share screen. Can you see
Ah,
it?
there you go.
Yes.
So on the previous page, the alien said death to the surface dwellers. So blank in this one, his chest flips open
cool.
and a huge gun comes out, and he's going to be saying, think again, or something like
Nice.
that. So
That's cool.
it's time to get a bit of violence into this comic.
Yeah,
It's too much making friends.
too much dialogues.
I love it.
So, Gene, you can
Great.
start with your one now. You should got some stuff to go on with there.
You can.
Can do.
Show us what
I've just
happens next.
Screenshot that.
It's always interesting what happens next.
So do I have to stop sharing now, or can you control
I
that?
would just
We
leave
can
it up.
control that. Yeah.
Okay,
We can watch you
great.
draw.
Are you guys
Dan,
controlling
do
the
you know-
horizontal and the vertical?
I got that reference.
I didn't.
Oh, also, I should back this up on the screen because I was given the reference we were talking about.
Oh yeah, I got that too.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's an
That's the old
awesome picture.
silver armor. I remember that one. I was never really into Iron Man as a kid, but I do remember it's silver and red instead of gold and red.
Mm.
Yeah, I always liked that suit. I thought that was cool.
It was that 80s phase where they were kind of post 85-ish, where they were revamping everyone.
Yeah.
Which was a good time before the kind of crazy 90s stuff came in.
Yeah.
Which was also a good time, not putting it down. Actually, because you mentioned Kirby, I'll just tell you this kind of like totally. I've got an original I can show you.
Oh,
original
nice.
Kirby,
You
huh?
do.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a sec.
That's interesting.
So I'm just gonna make that.
Put Con on full screen.
Yeah, please put Con on full screen. I want to see this.
Okay, this thing's huge. Okay, so this is from the 1950s, right? So it's twice up. It's from Gold Glory. The story's wait. I'll get the issue as well, so for more reference.
Oh, cool.
Con sounds far more organized than I am.
I love all the things that Blank is becoming capable of as we go on.
There's a little transformer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. So it's from this issue, from The World Around Us. So I was
Okay.
particularly interested in this because I'm doing graphic biographies, and all the stuff really is graphic history. So this issue was so every issue of The World Around Us was dedicated to I should say it's a classic illustrated
Oh yeah.
publication, right?
Publication, yeah.
So it's kind of historical facts in comics form. And Kirby did work with these guys for a while in the 1950s, because I don't know if you know Kirby history, but he was excluded from working with DC for a while because of some issues with that he had with one of the editors at DC, which really led to him going to Marvel in the early 60s. Or late 50s. Yeah. So anyway, it's a huge thing in Kirby history. And so he was doing all these kind of one-offs like this. And this one's dedicated to the history of kind of Middle America, or kind of like Mexico, Aztecs, all that stuff. So here it goes. So back then they used to draw in twice ups. So they had the size was kind of like much it's almost A2. Which is crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so here it is.
Oh, that's cool. That's really nice.
It's a pretty nice page, yeah. Let me just focus it. Yeah, and there's some paste ups there as well. So edited kind of lettering. It's pretty cool.
Wow, that's really
and you
cool.
can still see some of the pencils underneath. Actually, I'll get it out of the bag. Just because this bag's kind of a bit shiny.
The ink's held up well.
Yeah, the ink's holding up pretty well.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
And the lettering's kind of pretty sweet. It's that style he had just before joining Marvel and did the first Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
It's around then, I think 58, 59, something like that. Yeah, there you go.
Well,
It's awesome.
Very cool.
not to one up you, but can I show my Kirby page?
Hell yeah!
Oh, what more?
There we go.
Hang on a sec.
A Kirby special today.
Yeah, hang on. I'll see. I know it's over there, like that way, but I'll just see if I can find it real quick. Hang on.
Oh man, that's crazy.
How cool is that? Loving the gun.
It's looking good.
I want someone to do something with his legs. I think that's the only thing that hasn't transformed yet.
Didn't Sean Craig did the
Oh, did they? Was the missiles come out of the legs as well? That's cool.
what page was that?
Man,
It's
it
like
wasn't
10.
very long ago. Is it this one? Oh, you've already brought it up. Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it's his arms.
Yeah, it's his arms.
Yeah, so well I did that that pin up where he's got the things in his legs, but there hasn't been any official stuff yet on the show.
Oh, I've still got to draw my pin up. Oh,
I found it.
Oh wow.
oh
Sorry, I
cool.
had to search through a few pieces of original art.
It's crazy.
So this one is from Gunsmoke Western.
Oh, nice.
Also,
Oh,
you know,
cool.
before the real Marvel era. But I really like this page because of the way that the blacks are spotted.
Mm.
And, you know, I like that it's got the lettering on the page and stuff. So, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Do you know who the letter is?
I think from looking at it, it's probably Artie Simek.
It looks
Mm.
nice.
But I do not know for sure. I mean, I'm sure I could find out if I did some
Yeah.
internet research, but
And,
yeah.
and the inks are pretty slick as well. Who's the inker?
Can't remember. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't say.
I'll make everybody mad by saying
Yeah,
Vince
yeah.
Coletta.
Oh man, nah.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's the first rule of this video cast. You never mention that name.
Yeah, don't talk about Vince Coletta.
You know, to be fair, I mean the Thor stuff. I've got kind of a sweet kind of memory of reading the Thor stuff that he inked. So I don't. You know, I don't bash him as much as others.
No,
It's all
I
right
mean,
if you don't see the original pencils and see all the stuff that he didn't draw.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the stuff I think people are pissed off. But yeah, I think his stuff on Thor really suited the work. Especially kind of the Tales of Asgard stuff, where you know they were going down memory lane. That sketchy kind of approach really worked. Although sketchy wasn't his intention, he was just trying to skip a few steps.
Right.
Ed, man, how many panels have you done? I've always wondered, you know, because you're always observing.
I did this one, the first one.
Yeah, the first one. And have you ever kind of participated, kind of, or had an inclination to do more?
No, but the idea is like every panel's by someone different. So
I know,
like
but
one-
don't you get kind of an itch to kind of do something?
oh
Or is
yeah,
it-
like every show, like especially in the start, me and Sis were like, "Oh, you should do this next," and there's like a big temptation to throw out ideas because, like, even just seeing Matt's thing now, like every time someone puts up a panel, you want to go, "Oh yeah, you wanna go to the next one."
Do
But
this next. Do this next.
every person's doing such cool stuff. It just makes you think of a million things you could do, and then
Yeah,
just got to hold your tongue though.
I'm sure you could break the rule every now and then.
We don't want to influence people who get their stuff. Like,
Yeah. How about you, Sean? Do you dab? I don't, you know, because I don't know much about Sean. Sean, it's your time to shine, man. Tell us about yourself.
I did a panel actually
Shame,
in
sorry.
the non-artist episode. See if I can find it.
page
Let's
7.
have a look.
7, isn't it?
Oh, there you go.
So you
I did the first one, the dragon eating the dragon. And then Morgan, it's got the names down the bottom. Morgan Quaid did the middle one. He's a writer here in Brisbane as well. And Bo Roth is a YouTube presenter. So he's not even close to working with comics. He just reads them. So yeah. So that was a lot of fun, that episode. All of us laughing at ourselves.
Yeah, you get these plot twists kind of from the writers, or the kind of that you wouldn't regularly get from people that are thinking more visual. And you know, it's kind of a rollover from the previous fight. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty good plot twist. The dragon eats dragon thing. Yeah, because I read through it earlier. Yeah,
There's always a bigger fish.
there's always a bigger fish. Yeah.
And that's
I
a
got that
good thing
reference.
to tell everyone that even if you're an art writer and not an artist, you can come on the show and do a panel too. So everyone's
we
invited,
had.
so.
Oh, which page was it? I think it was 13. But Danny Nolan, who's a writer, yeah he did the second
The
panel,
torpedo.
the torpedo version. He's the one who influenced or inspired the blank going into the ground.
Ah.
So,
I teach corporate art classes, and my starting point is that everybody can draw.
Ah.
Because if you can do letters, we learned to draw before we learned to do letters. So it's more about empowering people to be able to draw rather than, I can't draw. I'll never be Leonardo or Michelangelo.
Well, Morgan swore that he couldn't draw, and he's the middle panel.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, what are you talking about?
Yeah, I get a feeling that, you know, a lot of people were kind of discouraged at an earlier age, you know, when they were drawing.
Yeah.
And, you know, someone went, oh, what, that looks nothing like whatever you're trying to do. And then, you know, that kind of maybe subconsciously put them off or something. But, you know, I know a lot of people that used to draw when they were young, and then they just totally dropped doing it later. And they were really good at it, you know. So, yeah, something happened somewhere. I assume.
That's all right. I used to sport when I was young. I didn't sport.
Well, a lot of my friends in high school were really good artists, and when I first wanted to start making comic books, I'd try and get them to draw it, and they'd get bored of it so quick that they'd hardly get anything done. So I had to learn how to draw to make them myself.
Yeah,
I love that. That's the best story.
Yeah, that might be it. Persistence.
It's
Well, patience.
the need to create stronger than the worrying about what people are saying about your artwork. I think.
I talk about exactly that. You've got to have the courage to share, but you also have the grace to receive.
Oh.
Because if your audience are a bunch of a-holes, I kept it PG, and if they're being awful about it, that's going to discourage you. But if they're positive and like, wow, that's awesome. Like, there's a beautiful Bluey episode, Dragon. Does everybody watch Bluey?
Love Bluey.
So Dragon is just a beautiful episode about drawing and D&D. And it turns out the bandit, the dad, can't draw because people used to give him crap about it when he was a kid. Actually, not people. It was just one kid at school who gave him crap about it. But Chili, the mum, can draw really well because her mum would say, you know what? That's really good for a 6-year-old. I'm ready to share a panel.
Oh, have you got
Screen
share or?
Hang on. How do I do it?
You're digital, aren't you? So you'll have to. Let's hope the computer survives.
Yes. Do I click present, right?
Yep.
Yeah, present, and then pick the window that you want.
Okay. All right. Share screen. There we go. And share a mingo.
Here we go. So what you meant to share? Is this a surprise?
Oh, is it not sharing? Hang on, let me
Is there
try
a picture
again.
on there?
It's in your screen, but there's nothing in the Photoshop window.
Yeah, it's in the Photoshop window. Hang on. Let me stop
weird.
and I'll try again.
Oh, that's
For
a
the
different
audience
way.
watching at home, we've prepared this.
Mm.
Well, you did have it on there before, but then you dropped out. So
Yes.
Oh, I
Let
get
me
to use
try
this
this
again.
one.
technical
there we go.
difficulties, yes. I love Oh, here we go.
Oh.
Nice. That's great.
That's
That's
excellent.
cool. Wow. That's really cool.
All right, so now it's Con's turn.
Oh, I was pretty relaxed until now.
Showing your Kirby page, eating your breakfast.
I was eating away, yapping away. It was fun. It's fun
If it
until
helps,
now.
I don't have any original pages of art, but I do have a cell from Samurai Pizza Cats.
Ah,
Oh,
nice.
that's
Oh,
it.
cool.
I love Samurai.
I
It's the
remember that
only
show.
piece of original art I have.
Very
Yeah, I got nothing.
cool.
So, Con, you know, it's got the little measurements on the side of the layout.
Yes, yes.
Excellent.
Can we get Matt's panel as well? Somehow
Yep.
showing,
You can bring that back up.
Yeah,
Sis.
sure.
just so I can
Oh,
reference
I can
both.
do a semi of that.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Cheers. Ooh.
We're live photoshopping here.
Well, I get started a bit before I put you on the screen. Oh, just so, I don't know if we said this. You don't need to finish it during the show, so don't feel you need to rush.
Right. Can you put that technical difficulties thing on again? And see you in a week. There we go.
Yeah, you probably would have seen in the last 2 pages that some of the artists haven't finished theirs yet. So Kim said, "Who do you call when you need some pepperoni? Samurai Pizza Cats." Nice. Oh, and that picture was sent in by Fourth Monkey, the Iron Man. He sent it to me.
So I've got an original piece of Con Chrysalis art, but
What?
I would have
Oh, wow.
got it ready if I'd remembered. I just remembered then, so I'm gonna have a look for it. So
Oh,
keep the show
Ed, man,
going.
I got to tell you, I found some original stuff of yours in my in a kind of a real huge stash of stuff that I've got. When I was in my kind of my folks' home a few months ago, so I got to get. I was always planning to email you, but yeah, just expect a real surprising email soon. I took some snaps of them, but if you want the originals, I can post them at some point when I'm back in Greece. But yeah, I'll send some snaps. I think you're gonna
Cool.
flip. Yeah.
So basically, my first say printed comic stuff was in Con's book Clans. I did the cover for issue 3
Oh, cool.
for a bit of nostalgia. That was in that would have been 97, 96.
Yeah, about there, 96 or 97. Yeah.
Oh, Kim wasn't even born yet.
Yeah.
Call back. Call back.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, I used to work for Alternate Worlds in Windsor at the time, in the comic book store, and so I had a really good distribution model, basically pushing everything off the shelf and putting mine there up front. But yeah, there was a great scene in Melbourne at the time. You know, Minotaur, Classic, all those shops, and they were pretty willing to kind of to put your stuff up there. So I got to
Oh,
meet a
that's
lot of
awesome.
people like Ed through that. Yeah. Ed, do you remember where you picked it up?
I got the first issue of Clans was at Alternate Worlds that I got.
Oh, was it? Oh, jeez.
So there's
There you go.
that's not an original piece, but that's some of Con's old stuff.
Oh, man.
Oh, can you go full screen on
Oh,
that?
sorry. Yep. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at comments. Oh,
Oh,
cool.
that's nice. Wow, that's cool.
It's very 90s.
That's so
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, that's Ed's characters, isn't it, Ed?
Yeah, your one's on the top and my one's on the bottom.
Yeah.
So I was originally going to do that book with my guys and using your ones as the kickoff point, but then I changed it halfway through, and then it
Kind of like a crossover. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
turned into that book.
Yeah, that's it.
So that's got 97 cover date.
Yeah. And there was a review magazine called Comic Edge. I don't know if anyone remembers that at the time. That kind of helped promote some of the work, you know.
Mm.
There was interviews in there and stuff. It was a pretty good
They
magazine.
hated me, those guys.
No,
They kept sending stuff in that they're pretty
Yeah.
vicious with their reviews.
they used to meet, once a month at the Stork Hotel in Melbourne. So yeah, there was a small community being built around that magazine. But I don't know what ever happened to them because I left at some point.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kim says, made a mistake. Born in 1987. Now you don't have to feel so old. Guess that's to all of us. So
Thank you, Kim. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't know what that drawing is. I'll have to find it later.
There is no later. There is only now.
Ain't got time to pencil.
Cool. I'm going to go pick on Gene for a second.
Yeah, get him.
Ooh, cool.
Nice.
So it's looking good.
Oh, I missed a comment. Kerbaby? I hope it's Kerbaby. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. Oh no, I missed a big chunk of the live. Cryface.
Sorry.
It's recorded, so you know you can watch it later. So it's all good.
Yes.
Should we say something about hit like, subscribe, and comment below?
I was
Oh,
just
yeah,
going
Watch
to say
YouTube
that.
before.
Well, now I don't need to. Thanks, Gene.
If you're watching on the YouTube, or even if you're not on the Comics Net AU YouTube page,
Yep.
hit the like, comment, subscribe, and the bell, because there's lots of shows.
There's lots of
such
shows,
as Sis. What's coming
Such
up
as,
next?
oh well, we've got Friday night drink and draw. That's every fortnight, which happens to be next week. The theme is G.I. Joe. There is a link. I'll actually put it up on the screen, and I won't find that in the comments. I don't know why I'm looking through the comments for it. I'm so prepared. I've got so many things in here, I get lost. Oh, maybe I haven't put it in here. I thought I did. Oh, well.
So, speaking of G.I. Joe, I would like my fellow Australians of similar vintage to me to just confirm or deny something, because I don't remember G.I. Joe ever being on TV in Australia when I was a kid. So, is
As
that
far
correct?
as I'm aware, it was not on. Yeah,
Yeah.
I only ever saw comics. I never saw the cartoon.
Right, same.
I used to get the video of the movie
Okay.
but I
Because
can't
when I
remember.
moved over
Vaguely.
here, it was, you know, G.I. Joe, the cartoon, was a huge part of people's childhoods who are similar age to us.
Wow.
And they were like, "Oh, did you watch G.I. Joe when you were a kid?" And I was like, "No, we didn't have it in Australia. It was probably like seen as like too American of a thing or something."
Well, G.I. Joe in Australia was the international hero.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I remember at the time we had Action Man, the the posable
The big one.
dolls,
Mm.
Yeah, I remember.
and that was the British version of G.I. Joe.
Mm.
They were called Action Man. But as far as the cartoon and the little action figures, I don't remember. I mean, I remember seeing the toys at a certain point when I was a kid, but the TV show, I don't remember ever being on TV at that time. So
Mm.
I
There
was
I just didn't know
deep-
whether it was something that I just overlooked or whether it was not
I
on.
was aware of the toys as early as '84, maybe, because
Yeah,
I
I remember
remember
the
thinking
toys,
how
true.
cool the green ones were. You know,
Right.
the very first waves. But I'm pretty sure
Yep.
we were getting Action Force initially, and it wasn't till '85, '86 that we got the real American hero figures.
Interesting.
But I had a G.I. Joe poster on my wall, and it
Huh.
said the international hero, and I found it quite
International
jarring.
hero, that's funny.
So when I first heard the song from the cartoon, I found it super weird. Like, the real American? What?
right. You're like,
It's a show
no,
about
this isn't right.
diversity."
That's funny.
I've thrown the link up there for Drink and Draw just so people watching know. comics.cx/art. That's where you submit your art now.
Ah, cool.
So
makes
when
it a
I
lot
was doing
easier
the work
for me.
experience with Gary,
Yeah.
that was when he was just working on G.I. Joe Australia.
I remember
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
I remember
cool.
that
That's
comic.
right.
Yeah.
And I got a Recondo figure recently. Gary rebranded Recondo as Digger because he had a slouch hat.
Right. I remember that character. Interesting.
I think it was maybe like Master of the Universe that overpowered everything back in those days.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the early bit.
But there were similar premises with JoJo, like Mask. That was huge.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember Mask. That was a pretty cool cartoon.
I have a room full of toys on the other side of this camera.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
You can see some of the spill over here behind me.
See a few. 1 or 2. 100. Oh. Yeah, Ham. Most enjoyable program. Love watching the artwork develop and to listen to the artists tell about how they develop their art and careers. I guess that's careers. Also love to hear about other artists. Cool. Thanks. Thanks for the comment.
Thank you.
And you can send an email to complain about my pronunciation of your words.
Before the pandemic, I used to travel a lot for work. I'd go to conferences and draw them. And a lot of that work is now done virtually because clients realize they don't have to pay for flights. But the thing that I would always do when I arrived in a new city was find the comic shops.
Oh.
And the best comic shop I found was this row of 3 shops in Barcelona called Freaks. And they had American comics, they had weird DVDs, they had European comics and art books.
Cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just putting it out there. Sounds like they didn't have Australian comics, so they can't have been that cool.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah, I kind of followed a similar process when I moved to Brighton after Athens. I didn't know anyone around town, you know, so there was a comic shop called Dave's Comics, which is carries a lot of kind of indies in there as well. And so I visited the shop trying to find some info about the local scene, and you know, serendipitously, there was on the kind of the front door there was a flyer about a monthly meet of the local creators. And that was crazy. I mean, and once I went there, I just realized that there was loads of Brits that were massive on kind of an international scale, like there was who did I get to meet? I mean, I met Glenn Fabry there. You know, the cover artist of Preacher. There was oh God, I'm trying to remember a few of the kind of the names. Well, Dave Lloyd, the artist of V for Vendetta, he kind of heads it.
I know Dave.
And yeah, it's a pretty thriving scene down there. Most of kind of the creators are, you know, in the UK are kind of the more mainstream ones are located between London and Brighton. Yeah, and got to meet a lot of people and kind of form kind of long-lasting friendships through there. It's pretty cool. But yeah, visiting a local comic shop is kind of the way to go if you're moving places.
That's one thing I like to do whenever I travel to a city is I always just find the comic shops. And fortunately, like when I bring my family, like we're all a family of geeks, and so we all like going to comic shops, like my immediate family. But traveling with the extended family, like one time we took like a family trip to Las Vegas, and I was like, okay, one of the days I want to just do all Las Vegas's comic shops. And the rest of the family was like, oh, are you kidding?
I went to a comic
really
shop
fun.
in Las Vegas that was in a strip mall.
Oh,
and I was there a bit late because I went up talking to the guy, and I left after dark, and it was quite different.
Yeah. There's actually a really good comic shop. I think it was called like Alternate Reality or something like that. And but it's in a very seedy part of town, but it's an excellent comic shop. It's got a real good selection of both mainstream
Yeah,
and
I think it was that one.
alternative. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that is in a strip mall, yes. It probably is the same
It
one.
was too close to the strip, but not far enough away to be suburbia.
Yeah, it's a bit of a seedy area. And you know, when you're navigating there with your little Google Maps or whatever, you don't know what the actual area is going to be like. And then when you actually get there, it's like, do I want to get out of the car? So, but yeah, that's a good shop. That was a good shop.
I don't know if it's moved. The last time I was there was 2018, and I think it's gone.
No, it's still there because we went in, I think, post-pandemic. So, yeah,
okay.
it's still there.
Good to hear.
I found my Conchrosaurus original.
Oh, cool.
You want to stick it up on full screen?
God.
So this was a wraparound cover for.
wow.
These are all my.
Shit! I've never seen that
Hey,
before,
that's
man.
Cool. Wow.
You drew
nice.
it.
I'm taking a snap of that. I mean, I've never seen it since then. Jeez. Wow. That's pretty cool.
I'll scan it for you and send it to you. But so he sent that in.
Is that your pencils though? What's going on here?
I think that's all you.
Is that all me? Jeez.
It might be my pencils. Because I did the one that got printed. Because I'd already gone to print before. You sent me the thing, so that's my one.
Yeah.
Cool.
It doesn't look as good.
Yeah.
all the
It
guys are in the same spot, so it looks like
Hmm.
I might have sent you the
Maybe the pencils or something. Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah, because it's got my name on it too. Yeah, so you would
There you
have
go.
inked over my. Where is it? Yeah, there's my guy there.
Yeah.
So that's
It's the way
a Kearsley Chrysalis.
the bricks, the way I used to draw the bricks. I was really into Chris Bucklow at the time. You know, the artist used to do
Hmm.
Gen X and the Death books for DC.
So that's a cool bit of.
Well, we're at that time, Mr. Ed.
No.
How you going, Con? You
Okay, yeah, I'm about to. I'm still in penciling phase, but yeah, I'll stick it up now. Okay, here we go. Whew. So,
Oh, what's going on here?
Ooh,
Oh wow.
oh, jeez, where are we? Wait.
A
Okay, here we go.
twist.
So, yeah. So we've got kind of multiple things, multiple readings here, multiple things happening. So first, blanks says energize chest laser initiating, and then his power circuits overload, and then we get to see kind of what's going on inside his head, and he's kind of like a lizard skull cyborg, and he says then mother, and his memory banks activate, and it's his mom apparently in front of him, or is it? And his memories in his memory, his mother says, "Have you eaten your Brussels sprouts, Blanky?" And yeah,
Is he one of the fish guys?
there's going to be like a Kirby
That is awesome.
Kirby type energy thing coming out of his
that's
chest.
a hell of a twist.
Yeah, I love it. That's fantastic.
So,
Wow.
yeah,
Wasn't expecting that.
we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
That is really cool.
I love that.
it was fun.
It's awesome.
I think the Iron Man thing brought it back because we didn't have that conversation.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's a strange thing the way the brain works, right?
That's crazy.
I know what you mean. Thinking all these thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't if we didn't have that. If we didn't initiate that conversation, I don't know. Maybe I would have, went straight into a proper sequence. Okay. So do we, how much time do we have? Are we doing okay?
We're doing okay.
We could go a bit longer. We could go a bit longer.
This is
We'll go
the
to-
international special, after all.
Yeah, we'll go another 20 minutes or so, I suppose.
Okay, yeah, that's how much I thought. Okay, I'm getting into inking now. So
Yeah, awesome.
Well, that was wasn't expecting that. Never expect anything.
Yeah, I was
anything
going
out
to
of
say
it,
anything that
but
happens, I don't expect. So I
it's
try not
crazy.
to put my ideas out there because then it's
Yeah.
just because you guys think of some awesome things.
Bring back one of the screen shares,
Oh yeah, sorry.
so we got something to look at.
Oh yeah, I see what it's doing. We want that one.
This means conflict. So when I first saw Con's book Clans at the comic shop, I was nearly finished with my original, my one Battle Tide. So that was my first big, like full-sized story and comic that I'd ever made. And I didn't have any idea how I was going to get it printed or put it out. And then and it just so happened that it was at the comic store, and then right there at the counter was this black and white A4 size photocopied book, and I was like, "That's how you do it." And it had Con had his address and stuff in there, so I sent him some letters, like stamp envelope, olden days ones,
Yeah.
and we started a little bit like back and forth and
Yeah.
swap phone numbers, and we'd call, and we met up at Alternate Worlds once and had a chat. So yeah, Con was a big help for me getting started.
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
It's
So
one of those things.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, there was kind of a a buzz around those days around kind of helping each other and so I'd take I'd met a lot of people to kind of do that. And I did that in Athens quite a bit too. But yeah, Athens, you got the ball rolling immediately. You got that issue out like within months.
Yeah, I nearly finished it, and so I was really looking for a way, because if you like a Bug and Stomp or a Greener Pastures kind of the way was just way out of like anything I could do. Like even I didn't know anything like that. As just a dumb kid like making comics. So seeing someone who's already done it and your book looks so cool. And then when I sent you in some fan art, and I think you printed it in the back of issue 2, and then it was either one of those ones where you asked me to do the pencils for a cover.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So the cover for number 3 was like
pretty cool times. So Ed, oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, we've got a question here from the audience.
Nice.
Has anyone ever been to Secret Stash in New Jersey?
Secret
Can't say I have.
That's the Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah, Kevin Smith's shop.
Yeah.
Because if everyone
I
says
haven't
no,
been
there's no
there.
point continuing the question.
That was now that they mentioned that was a huge thing around the time, right? Those movies, Clerks and Mallrats.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a lot of conversations happening around them, like about real dialogue, and kind of showing another aspect of the scene.
I used to watch Chasing Amy all the time when I was making comics, because it was the only movie I knew about that actually had any talking about comic, like making stuff in it.
Yeah. There was all that derogatory talk about Incas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that. I don't know how well they've aged, though. I haven't seen them in ages. Something like Clerks, because it was pretty out there, wasn't it, in terms of the language?
I tried to rewatch Clerks a couple of years ago, and it's very much a product of its time.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
But that may also just be me.
Yeah, it's well, people don't refer to it too much, so yeah, I think that you might be spot on. Because you usually get someone going, oh, that was the huge thing in my time and influenced this or that. I was trying to do a lot of comics around the time with that kind of snappy, quick dialogue. I remember, but I'm never going to republish them.
Ooh, what's going on over there?
I should probably show my new book.
Oh yeah,
cool.
tell us about your books.
So I do a thing called Space Cat. This is it's book 5. This came out last week. I like this format, just this horizontal.
Oh, cool!
Nice.
So Space Cat is a cat in space. You didn't see that coming. He's part of a family of cats. His dad owns a company called Space Cat, Space Cat, Space Cat, and Space Cat. But our Space Cat, he's not one of those Space Cats. So I've sold out of the first book. First book's called Seven because I like the idea that the first issue was called Seven, and it was my riff on Seven Samurai.
Nice.
Where
Oh, yeah.
Space Cat gets hired to defend a village, but he also gets hired to take salvage from this abandoned village. So he winds up having to fight himself because he's both sides of Seven Samurai. Second book is Slice of Life, where he's hired by the King's Raven. Yeah, here's our Raven. So it's the King's birthday,
Oh,
and the Raven
Nice.
have to get a cake because the King can't eat pizza every day, and calls Space Cat to buy the cake. And Space Cat delivers, but not all of the cake because he got hungry. This is Space Cat. It started as a primer, like what is Space Cat about? But halfway through writing it, I like the idea that he's oversharing. So the book gets hacked halfway through, and he gets in trouble because he's shared too much in print. Space Cat Hunger. Space Cat Hunger is the epitome of a Space Cat story. He gets hungry, so goes out for takeaway, but crash lands on a planet and has to find food. And in doing so, he's stalked by this giant monster. But he and the giant monster become friends, and they go and have laksa together.
Nice.
There's no dialogue in it except at the very end, where you see Space Cat's friend lists, and you see the other monster accepting the friend invite. And Vacate, the latest issue, an exploratory mission crash lands on an asteroid, and they have to get off because it's a private asteroid. So I start each book with a little write-up, but in this book, the write-up gets taken over by the crashing spaceship. And they call Space Cat because Space Cat did this flyer years ago, and he regrets doing that, the flyer. He'll care. I don't care. And when they say, we have to get out of this place, we have to vacate, Space Cat misinterprets vacate. So he turns up for a holiday.
Nice.
Space Cat, you're our last resort. We have to vacate this place. Resort? Vacate? Yeah, I'm down for that.
That's
So
great.
my writing style is very much dad jokes and just stupid.
Mine is too.
We need more dad jokes in comics.
Yeah, I think so. I totally agree. I'm not joking.
We've got an
I'm very
impressive
serious
amount of
about
comics
dad
on
jokes.
Steam. Oh, sorry. That's from Nick May, a regular watcher of all our shows.
And Nick May did a panel as well.
Yeah, he did too, didn't he?
Ah.
I can't remember which one, though.
It is this one. It's the first one there.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Very nice.
Good looking
Ah.
page.
Yeah, I've seen Nick on the Friday Night Draw.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
one of the
He's a
regulars.
regular. So Matt, tell us about your comic book.
Oh, I've been doing a comic called Steamroller Man since 2018, publishing it online. Just about to launch my first Kickstarter to publish the first issue in print.
Nice.
And yeah, Steamroller Man is a superhero comedy about a superhero who has a huge steel roller as a head. He has a secret identity. His secret identity is Steve Rollerman, and he wears a big pair of glasses over his huge steel head that he thinks is gonna disguise himself. And
I
you
went
know,
to
he's
school with him.
basically it's basically my sort of tribute to you know, all the stuff that I liked when I first started collecting comics, like the Tick and the Giffen DeMatteis
Tick.
Justice League and
Yeah.
Batman 66 TV show. So, you know, funny superhero type stuff. So you can look at, I've done two issues and like a mini comic all online. And I'm in the middle of producing pages for the third issue. It's all free to read at steamrollerman.com.
Wow.
And the Kickstarter pre-launch page is up on the screen now.
Yep.
So I'd appreciate a few follows if anyone reads the comic and likes it enough to want to be notified when it launches. That'd be awesome. So yeah, that's what I do.
It sounds like we have very similar taste in comics.
Oh yeah, you like the Tick and all that sort of stuff?
I love the Tick. I've only been to San Diego Comic-Con once, and I held it together. I was cool until I met Ben Edlund. Because I met Ben Edlund literally on the street. I bought the Tick Collected edition, and the New England Comics booth said, he's just outside that door. And I walked outside, and he was with Jackson Public and the other guy, the Astro-based guys, Venture Brothers.
Yes.
And I was stupid. I couldn't say anything because it was just like, wow.
That's awesome.
Ben Edlund kept talking about how we needed more spaceship shows. There's no spaceship show on TV at the moment. Why are there no spaceship shows? And
Venture Brothers is another, I wouldn't say influence, but when I'm telling people about Steamroller Man, I usually pitch it as, if you like stuff like The Tick, Venture Brothers, or Batman 66, you'll probably like Steamroller Man. So definitely that similar style of a loving type parody of superhero tropes. So yeah, I love that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I think there's not enough fun superhero comics out there where it's not all serious. Like I like it when it's sort of a little bit self-aware that of its own, the inherent silliness of superheroes as a concept.
My son's of an age where he insists that Christopher Nolan's Batman movies are the best. To which I counter with, well, of course not. Adam West is the best Batman.
Yeah,
but
I really think Adam West is the best Batman.
Right. However, we both agree that Lego Batman is the best Batman movie ever made.
Yeah. My son is a huge Batman fan, and so he's got very strong opinions about Batman, and he also thinks that exactly what you just said, that the Lego Batman movie is actually one of the best Batman movies in terms of being true to the character, you know.
Yeah, around that time where Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns came out, and there was talk about a new Batman film coming out, which turned out to be Tim Burton's. I was really hoping that they'd recast Adam West and make that comic into a film, but you know, alas, we got a better movie.
The Dark Knight Returns with Adam West is that what you say?
Yeah, I was really hoping that they'd do that back then. I was really young and naive, though. There's a high chance
that was the whole thing at the time. There were people that were upset that ridiculous comedian is going to play Batman. Why isn't Adam West going to be in it?
Yeah. I mean, and we also got a Bat Dance again, but it was Prince doing it.
Well, I remember being kind of upset at the time because I think I was in, I don't know, grade 11 or 12 and fully into collecting comics by that time. And yeah, when they first announced Michael Keaton, I was like, Jack Nicholson, perfect as the Joker. Michael Keaton as Batman? What? Because, you know, at that point, he was primarily known for comedy.
That's Mr. Mom.
Yeah, exactly. But he was good. Same with Heath Ledger. When Heath Ledger got cast as the Joker, I was like, what? Heath Ledger? And then seeing what it ended up being, I thought it was amazing. What a fantastic performance. So since anytime there's a casting announcement, I'm like, I was wrong about Michael Keaton. I was wrong about Heath Ledger. I was wrong about Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck was great as Batman. So now I'm just like, they'll be fine. They're all going to be fine. You'll see.
Well, this is an interesting comment from Kim. Thank you for the stream. Sure beats listening to Taylor Swift concert.
Oh,
Traveling to my balcony. Oh, she must be close.
Not a fan, I guess.
Must be close. And then I love Tay Tay, but I heard her last night. She must be right next to where the concert's being held.
Oh, right.
Glad we could help.
Kim may have been at
Shake it
Blink-182 last night.
Just shake it off, Kim. Shake it off.
Just blast
I
us
told my
out. See
kids
if
I
we
was
can
going to
get that
start
stereo
a-
loud enough to drown out Taylor.
I told my kids I was going to start a trailer rental company called Trailer Swift.
That's good.
I was also going to a fast suit manufacturing company called Taylor Swift, and they said, "Dad, just stop it. It's not
That's
funny
good.
anymore."
I love it. I love it.
To which I said it was never funny, but she started it.
Oh. Kim just said, I shook, Matt. I shook.
Okay.
That's hilarious. So how you going, Con?
I'm going to have to do this.
Yeah. Here I am. This is where I
Oh,
am.
hang on,
at
I'll
the
bring you
moment.
up so we can
Yeah.
all see you. Oh,
wow.
wow.
Still got loads to do,
That's
but
awesome.
it's happening.
Wow. That's cool.
That's beautiful.
Oh god.
That's just such a great idea. I just love the left turn that it took the whole story in.
Yeah,
It's like what a twist. Like that's
yeah, I'm
so
curious what the tweet's
creative.
gonna do.
Yeah. Let's see where it's gonna go. Could be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe it could go into
You made it
like
very fun.
an
Playing
enemy
something so
mine
easily
type
too.
situation where she gives birth to his kid or something.
Oh.
I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, no, I saw it actually. I was trying to see if it still holds up, and it's still pretty good.
I watched Demolition Man last week.
Ah, how was
I don't know
that?
if I've seen that.
It was actually a lot better now than I remember it being back when it came out,
Ah,
Ah.
because it's painfully prescient.
Mm.
So giant gun and weird face underneath. Blank has it all. Missiles out of his arms, giant gun out of his chest, and face underneath him. Face. How do you say that? I'm glad I did mine a while ago, so I didn't have to draw that. So I can't do it again. I've had my spot.
Yep.
I have a
What do
dragon.
you reckon? Shane reckons about that time to
Yeah,
Yeah,
might as well.
yeah.
So we'll
get some
just
stuff sent in.
send
Yeah,
your
cool.
stuff to me.
All right.
Sounds good.
It's only an example, so it doesn't need to be high res.
Hmm.
While
Oh,
you
what's
guys,
it? Oh, the shop. You're showing the shop.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can have a look at this while you guys get your stuff organized. Hey, Con, you can just send a picture to me on Facebook.
Yeah, sure.
Just take a snap. We'll have a look at these. Just about everyone on this thing has been on this show,
Ah, cool.
except for Dave Dye. There's
Dave Dye special.
Maurice in the middle. Book looks cool. Brian Vella's been on.
Hmm.
Dana's been on it.
The Flood. Zach was on last episode.
Yeah.
So this is comics.shop. Everyone at home. These are all Australian books.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all published by Comics, or is it also distributing?
Oh no, we sell any books from Australian creators.
Well, that's pretty cool.
That just apply to be part of the shop.
That's pretty cool.
So
yeah.
there's very few in this shop actually at the moment that are comics. This is the year that we're putting out a lot of books. So
nice. I might send some stuff over actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys should send all your stuff to Shane.
Oh yeah.
Get some books distributed. Might
Yeah,
be a different
definitely.
page. Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
I'm
that
just
was
glad
a
I
mix.
almost got my panel finished in the time. I'm surprised. I think this is the fastest I've ever drawn anything.
Excellent.
Shane, do you want this as a JPEG or?
Yeah,
It doesn't really
JPEGs.
matter. Just whack it through on Messenger. Not even. It's just an example that we put up at the end. Then after the show, I'll get you to send me a high res to my
Okay.
email. Yeah,
Alright.
so we can actually put it properly together for a print book.
Okay.
But at the moment, yeah, just a file through Messenger will be fine.
Yep. Okay. I'll send it in 1 second.
Same with Eugene, if you can hear us.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So do you want me to send mine? Because mine's still in a work in progress.
Yeah,
Situation.
that's fine. It's just
Yeah.
it's just to show an example of what the page is going to end up looking like.
Yeah. Definitely. Okay. Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be finished.
Okay. I'm gonna take a snap, and then I'll finish it kind of like over the weekend and send over.
Excellent.
So same with Eugene. Just send it through Messenger if you want, or email me, whatever's easiest. I don't know. Different people have different systems how they use their art.
Yeah.
All good.
Cool.
I just sent through to you on Messenger.
I did the same.
So did
Can I
Ed.
do one more share?
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, sure. Ed,
This
I'll
is
let
a
you do that.
kid's book. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Oh, wrong
This is a
person.
kid's book I've just
no,
done
right
with a sleep scientist. And this is out in Kinnicoonia now.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So it's basically it's about two kids who don't want to sleep, and the parents explain to them why they need to sleep, and they visit a bunch of different animals.
Cool.
So they look at different sleep styles and the importance of sleep.
Wow.
I think I need this book.
That looks great. Yeah.
Thank you.
Shane, you've been staying up late, mate.
Oh, the number of nights I missed sleep whilst preparing this.
Ironic.
Yes.
Poetic
We've got another one
symmetry.
coming out in a couple of months on nutrition.
Interesting. That's cool. Well, good luck with that. I hope it's a big
Yeah.
success.
Thank
That's
you
a
very
really,
much.
really
Should I
cool
plug-
concept.
Should I plug mine as well?
Yeah,
Do
of
it.
course.
Yeah,
Hang
yes,
on,
I've got
I'll bring
this.
you up.
Yeah, so this is a collection. So Rebel, the graphic biography of David Bowie. This is something I've been doing for the past 7-8 years. It's a weekly webcomic,
Oh,
and
wow.
it kind of goes through his entire life. Well, basically from his ancestors, but it's mostly focusing on his kind of really early life. So I'm 400 web episodes in, and I'm still in 1968. So it's really, really meticulous.
Wow.
Wow, that's
and
amazing.
It's all original research. So it's done on Patreon, and and then every 3 months I self-publish a collection of about 30 episodes, and
Wow.
send them out to the patrons. So that's the current thing I'm doing. Yeah, this kind of
That-
issue where his brother famously had a breakdown. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
Is that
amazing.
Punch the one where he lost the eye color?
Yeah, the eye color one was here you go. So so it's all based on kind of my research that I do on original quotes from Bowie himself. So what I do is kind of I purchase a lot of old magazines like Enemy, Melody Maker, and all that. And I try to I have to read a lot of articles and try to extract quotes in which he talks about his early life, which are not really known or other biographers don't talk about. So then I have to kind of create a narrative around those quotes. So it's all kind of narrated by himself,
Wow.
rather than dramatized by me.
wow, cool.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
I did the same with Kirby, so this is ongoing too. I'm trying to finish the Bowie comic too first, and then get back to this. So I did a chapter on this. So it's about his ancestry, really, his Jewish kind of heritage.
Wow.
And I did the Smiths. This was the first attempt at this process. This is 400-page graphic novel by Omnibus.
Holy crap.
Yeah, this was
Wow.
a daily webcomic for 3 years, which took its toll on me, to be fair.
Wow.
That's
But
amazing.
I was getting paid to do this on a website and it was on a daily basis, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Whoa.
That's so cool. Oh,
But Rebel Rebel's the kind of the predominant thing I'm doing now. Yeah.
we got a request here, Con. Really hoping you make an omnibus.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, it's exclusively on Patreon now because that's the only way I can push ahead with kind of doing it, in an episodic manner and finishing it. At least the first volume, which might be, until 1970, which is kind of a few years ahead. Yeah, we'll see. It's the patrons that are they're the real kind of heroes behind this, because otherwise it's real hard to to kind of motivate yourself to continue doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. Thanks.
Did you send your picture, Con?
Yes, I will take a snap of it. Sorry. And I'll send it through to. Should I send it to who? Who do you prefer I send it to?
Just send it to me on Facebook.
Yeah.
Send it to Ed if you want.
Okay.
Okay, what I'm going to do is share my screen. And while Ed's putting these together, we shall look at your guys'
Yep.
Instagrams. So this is actually Con's, which I guess we get to see a lot more of the art from inside that book you just showed.
Yeah. So that's kind of the on this Instagram profile I've got. I usually do the work in progress stuff for Rebel, and Rebel's got a separate profile.
Oh, you got another one. Oh, sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
know
it's
that.
fine, but this is the predominant one where I've got all my kind of personal stuff, because I also talk about the Smiths books and all the other stuff that I'm doing.
All right, cool.
Yeah, that's actually some stuff from Thought Bubble. Jeff Lemire came over and bought a copy of Tales of the Smiths, which was crazy. He's a huge Smiths fan, and I met him there at Thought Bubble, and we had a nice conversation about the Smiths. And that's Gary Spencer Millage. I don't know if you know Gary Spencer Millage from Strange Haven. Huge fan of his. Yeah.
And looks like Ed's working fast, so I might go to the next person. Con, if you want to put in your Patreon address into the private chat.
Oh yeah.
I can post that out.
Sounds great. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Cool. We got Steamroller Man. I love it.
Woohoo.
Advertising tonight's show.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
That's me.
Excellent.
Yeah, I
love this
post. I
book. I've
post
got-
a lot of. Oh yeah, my friend Aaron Davies, who I went to college with when I studied animation. He kind of does action figure customization as a hobby. And when
Oh,
I
yeah.
started Steamroller Man, he surprised me out of the blue by sending me a Steamroller Man figure, which I have over here.
Oh, I'll boost you up once you.
I'll show it to you on the camera. There he is.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so
That is really cool.
there's nothing, I don't think there was anything more inspiring than being able to see my character like sitting on the desk in front of me as I was working on the comic. So yeah,
That's so
that
cool.
was very flattering and
That is very cool.
you know, humbling to get that from my friend. But yeah, my Instagram, I post a lot of work in progress stuff.
All right, cool.
And you know, so as you can see, there's panels in various stages of completion, and then
Mhm.
whenever I finish a page, I post that on there just to let people know, hey, there's another page up on the website, etc. So yeah. Oh, that
Very
green
cool.
one, that's so I animated a steamroller for the Kickstarter campaign video. I actually animated Steamroller Man running towards camera in the same style as the Batman TV show opening.
That's awesome.
I was going to say that. I love it.
Does it work if you click on it?
I don't know, try it. That might just be photos. I'm sure the video is on there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's just the comparison.
So we can find the video.
Yeah, might be on there. It might not be, actually.
Yeah. 700 followers. Wow. I
Yeah,
think
'cause
I'll
I
give up and go to Gene.
Yeah, go to Gene.
Oh, but while we're looking at this one, I should really put up banners. This is an important thing to know about Steamroller Man. There is a Kickstarter coming, and this is the pre-launch page. This link will also become the Kickstarter page once it launches.
Yes.
I don't know if Matt knew that.
I was thinking that would be the case and hoping that would be the case.
Yeah. But yeah, so you've just seen all the cool art from it. So yeah, go over there, click the notify so you get to see the Kickstarter when it comes out.
Yes, please do. I just followed all you guys on Instagram.
Yeah, same
Oh,
here.
nice.
Those tags, so it's good stuff.
And then we're over to Gene. Hang on, banners. I'm getting myself all confused here. Don't know why I brought that up. Okay.
Because it was important.
Yeah, very important. So here's Gene's page, Danger Gene. Nice and easy to remember.
So I mostly post stuff that I draw on my phone on the way to work.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I
cool.
love the dragon. Is that Iron Man
that
dragon?
dragon's cool.
Maybe.
Maybe?
That was for Chinese New Year.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
cool.
I don't know if you can hear the drumming. Today's actually the last day of Chinese New Year. And there's about 4 dragon dances, lion dances happening outside.
Oh,
Nice.
So I flip between digital and traditional.
oh, yep.
I like your style.
Thank you.
It's very cool.
It's really cool.
A cat car. That's original.
No, that's Studio Ghibli. The rabbit on the motorbike with the shark underneath. I did that as a tote bag recently
Ah,
with the phrase "Be my ride or die," which I
okay.
also got, my
That's
kids kicked me
great.
for that. Dad, that's not what it means. I know.
Oh, very cool. Where you at, Ed?
I'm done.
They're great.
All
Ready
done.
to go.
Cool. I will unshare my screen. Oh,
The big
I went to
reveal.
wrong- Okay, and then we'll bring you up.
Whoops. All right.
That's
So there's-
cool.
That's what the page looks like. And then we've got Matt's big chest gun. And what's he saying in this bit?
He's saying think again or something like that.
I like that. And then we've got Jeans. You brought a surface gun to a rock fight? This means conflict. That's a cool face. That looks like an 80s anime kind of monster face, like the bad guys from Voltron.
Oh yeah.
And then we've got this craziness from Con. The energized chest laser initiating. It's a power circuit.
Overloading.
Overloading. And then there's the memory bank. And there's the face of the. So is he's one of the lizard men? Is that what I'm getting from the?
Yeah, it says
Implication.
underneath it says mother. So and the creature from the memory bank says, "Have you eaten your Brussels sprouts, Blanky?"
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
There's a
I think
VR
that
code.
means that the creature in my panel is the mother, right?
Yeah,
Nice.
that's what it's looking like.
Unless the power circuit overload is kind of getting his circuits all kind of tangled
Making
up.
him crazy.
True. The next person can interpret it how they wish.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Could be a memory, could be a false memory.
Who knows where our story will go?
Who knows?
Gonna be fun finding out.
Same back
Oh, yeah.
time, same back channel.
So that is
That's awesome.
that page.
Cool. And I will just quickly put. I've been doing this for two or 3 years now, and I still can't get these buttons right.
That's all right. I used a computer that I use every day, and it didn't work.
So there's a Patreon, Rebel Comics. Go check it out at patreon.com.
Cool.
Check out Con's work. Support him. Was there anything you wanted to share, Gene, that I should be putting up?
You know what?
Apart
I'll
from
give
your
you-
Instagram.
I'm gonna share my work email because I do corporate comics. This is a thing
okay.
I recently did for Halion. Halion are the people that make Panadol. I also do comics for DBS Bank. Because comics are a powerful medium, as we all know.
True.
So I'm going to give you my work email. And if anybody wants to talk about work, ping me.
Yeah.
Cool. I will take that. See, I've got one of these type of URLs, and I get accused of it being dodgy.
Oh.
So I find that interesting because it's not. It's not even close.
But yeah, I'm not very good at selling my stuff online. So if anybody wants to buy stuff, go to my Instagram and say, hello, can I give you money? But you must use that phrase.
Secret
Or else I
code
won't
word.
see it.
Yes,
Yeah. Secret handshake.
Yep.
exactly. This is how commerce works.
Cool. There's your what's that? GW at uptospeed.biz.
Yes, thank you, people.
Pleasure.
This is awesome.
Yeah,
Thank
it was
you, guys.
great.
Really
Good
fun.
It was great. It's a great
All right.
opportunity to hook up with everyone as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose we better wrap it up. Well,
Yeah.
Can we all freeze and then you roll the credits?
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm up for it.
Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Well, I've got to get ready for it. Okay.